Well, I'm back in Manti, Utah, home of the Rat Fink reunion, former home of Ed Big Daddy Roth, who passed away a few years ago. And they're still doing the Rat Fink reunion here at Manti, and it's well worth the trip to Manti to check that out. Manti's right square in the very center of the state of Utah. You can find it using Google Maps, no doubt. But it's a very small community, but you'd have no trouble at all finding it. It's in an absolutely beautiful place, too, on Old Highway 89 as it runs down through Sanpete County, so that's really cool as well. At any rate, we're back at the Rat Fink reunion. This year I want to check out some of the artists who are here. We looked at those guys last year, but I'd like to go a little more in depth in what these guys do. They're pinstripers and airbrushers and regular artists who paint paintings and do illustration, but all of them have a certain love of doing the Rat Fink and doing pinstriping on cars and custom airbrushing on cars. So I thought we'd take a close look at that and talk to some of these guys. The Rat Fink reunion is a celebration of the life and work of Ed Big Daddy Roth, the creator of Rat Fink, and the creator of a bunch of really cool hot rods. Now, Ed had gotten his start back in the 50s as a pinstriper, and so a lot of the guys who come here are pinstripers.
So I started striping about probably 8 months before my mission. And then while I was on my mission, I actually made a brush with my own hair. And got home and got right back into it. I was already kind of a hot rod kid. I've had a 68 Ford pickup since I was 15. When I was working at a mechanic shop after high school, I kind of decided I was gonna change the paint on my truck a little bit, and I wanted it to be, you know, traditional hot rod, have pinstripes and stuff, and be satin black. It ended up being bare metal, which was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Now, most people might not think that having a bare metal car is pretty sweet, but these creatures are called rat rods. A rat rod is supposed to look like something just completely hashed together and homemade. Lots of rusty metal, but lots of pinstriping and artwork and crazy engines and just flat fun. The entire hot rod tradition really starts in the junkyard. A lot of guys after World War II couldn't lay hands on a car, so they'd go to the junkyard and buy one, piecing together a car out of whatever they could lay their hands on. Oh, this painting here on this dashboard is a Rat Fink. This one was actually painted by Ed himself. Ed said he started painting the Rat Fink as a way to upset a particular guy that was at the car shows, whatever. Graphic arts became really popular right after the war because the artist dudes in the war had painted stuff on flight jackets and, of course, on the noses of the airplanes. They became sort of cultural icons of the era.
My favorite type of artwork to do is photorealism. Portrait work, again, still airbrush, all airbrush work. But Rat Fink's always fun. Painting the Rat Fink makes you smile, mainly. You just look at it, you can start painting and look back at it, and it just makes you laugh. It's just comical. Part of hot rod history, so that's the other thing that's fun about it, keeping it alive. You know, he's a really big influence for me growing up. I'd just getting my dad's hot rod magazines, and he'd be in there in the cartoon cars, big motors. Just definitely pushed me in the direction of the style of art that I like.
Now, people used to use 35-gallon oil drums as trash cans in their hot rod shop, and, well, it was just a matter of time before somebody started painting the darn things with all kinds of cool stuff.
It's that's the first one I've done, but yeah, it's probably comes from being stuck with plain garbage cans, and so artists start painting them.
But I drive all the way from Fairborn, Ohio, It's a 27-hour trip, 1,768 miles. I've done it in one day. Yeah. So this year I'm going through 16 states. I got 11 stops and I got 6 jobs. From here I go to Vegas and California, then Phoenix, Arizona, then White Sands, New Mexico, and then make my way back up to Kansas City to do a job. And then I'm the one that did all the murals in the basement of the museum, in the ceiling of the museum, in the garage, in one of the garage doors, and the sign that says, "Welcome to Trixie's Finkland." Yeah, every year I come out and did another thing.
But the classic item to paint was always the T-shirt. Now, Ed had started painting on flight jackets and later sweatshirts, but the T-shirt, well, it was just a better price. Now, Ed's process involved drawing the artwork first in pen and ink. These are the drawings that he would make. And then after he got this worked out exactly the way he wanted it, he would photograph it. Now, there's a whole photographic process that he would go through to transfer this art to these silk screens. It's really a rather exotic and cumbersome process. But once you've got the screens, then these screens can be printed onto T-shirts, or for that matter, anything. But his goal was to print them onto T-shirts. You put the screen down over the shirt, and then you force the ink through the silk screen, and then when you lift the screen up, you'll see the artwork is transferred over onto the shirt. What you see here is a heater being brought in. This ink requires heat and sometimes even light in order to get it to dry properly. But this way Ed could mass produce his shirts. Originally he just painted right on the shirt and that's what you got, the original artwork. How cool is that? Oh, here's a kind of oddball thing. Ed liked to paint on toilet seats. It's kind of like the trash can. He said everybody needs a good toilet seat. So, you know, what the heck? But what was really driving all of this fun was the hot rods. Just as the graphic artists had originally painted on the warbirds during the war, now they were painting on the hot rods. Same people, same idea, different look. And so people want custom paint jobs on their hot rods and on their race cars and all kinds of things. And some of these artists are just really, really good. But there's some really, really cool techniques.
This isn't work, it's fun. I got attached to this about 1964-5 at Weber State. I was taking auto body from Dick Vandenberg. He was showing us wood grain, and I just took a liking to that. We live in a log house. We have several different kinds of wood in our house, so I just kind of try to emulate that. It's just fun. Most of the time I'll paint them mostly with a white base, and I'll put a color on it. I usually brush some of the color on, and I'll take a whiter brush or a fan brush to get some of the grain in, or I use a sponge, or sometimes I'll use a combination of all of them. When I'm doing knot holes, use a combination of a lot of different things to get it to look more realistic. And then I'll take my airbrush and then just shadow it in, get the different colors in it. A lot of times I'll put 5 or 6 different colors in the wood that looks like it's one color, just to get your tones and stuff so it looks more realistic.
So it isn't just monsters and pinstripes and flames, sometimes it's wood grain. But it all ends up on hot rods, and hot rods are the driving force. And here at the Rat Fink reunion, some of the really cool ones all show up. And not everything that shows up is a rat rod. Check this baby out. But these artists just flat blow my mind. The cool stuff that they're coming up with, and fun to get to watch them making T-shirts and making artwork. It's just a real gas here at the Rat Fink reunion. So if you're set on screwing around, go to ratfink.com, check the schedule, and come to next year's reunion.
We're city folk.
Well, that was an enormous amount of fun, as always, at the Rat Fink reunion. I always get a big kick out of coming to the Rat Fink reunion. You should plan the trip and just come to the website, ratfink.com, and find out the schedule and plan to come to one of these things, because they are just a lot of fun. And it was really fun meeting all the artists. going around to the different people and getting their techniques and talking to them. You may also notice that I am wearing a shirt that says that I am an official Rat Fink artist. Eileen registered me this year as an artist, as a Rat Fink artist. My mind is just utterly blown by that. I can't tell you what it means to me to be recognized and have the shirt saying that I am a Rat Fink artist. After 60 years of drawing Rat Finks in the margins of history books, that I am a Rat Fink artist. It actually means a lot to me. This really blows my mind, and that it's coming directly from Eileen Roth. What can I say? I'm sort of speechless about that. Well, if you haven't been over to the channel, go on over to the channel and subscribe. There's a link right down here, if you're not in full page, it says Toyman Television. That will take you to the YouTube channel. On the YouTube channel, notice too that there's a link there that says Guy's Hobby Shop. And Guy's Hobby Shop is my little fake hobby shop, fake in that I don't actually sell anything from there. I'm slowly beginning to set that up. I've got some videos for sale on there at this point. But I'm going to put a link in there so that you can also access ratfink.com. So if you want to buy any of these Rat Fink products at all, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the skateboards, the posters, whatever, you can find them there at ratfink.com. So go look for that and buy yourself a t-shirt. It's sort of a moral imperative to have a Rat Fink t-shirt. Well, I'm not sure how you found this particular movie on the internet. I hope you didn't find it boring. And I will be back here again next Sunday with another brilliant example of screwing around Toyman style. I'll see you then. Bye.